Hey YouTubers, it is your boy Deluxe, man. This is a follow-up video to my what was a live review of WWE Night of Champions 2015. Something happened. I think my webcam or just Google Plus's broadcast system just went kaput, or went kaput, whatever you want to say. It just crapped out on me, and quite frankly, I want to apologize to my fans that watched it, by the way, but quite frankly, I didn't like it myself. I thought it was a bunch of BS. I cannot wait until I get my new camera. It's coming in, guys. Those of you who did not watch the live review but is watching this review, I have enough money to finally get me a new camera. This webcam view that I know some of you are sick of, and I'm sick of it too, it's finally gonna be gone. Hopefully very soon. So I will finally have a legit camera that will give you good quality viewing experience here on Deluxe Man's channel. So that's coming in very soon. But anyways, this is just a follow-up review. I'm just going to talk about everything I said in that live review, give my exact same thoughts about the exact same show in a much smaller amount of time. But this is your boy Deluxe Man, and this is my review of WWE Night of Champions. Pre-recorded, not live, but pre-recorded. Overall, I thought it was a good show. I really enjoyed Night of Champions, and I'm kicking myself that I did not go. It was here in Houston, and the reason I didn't go is for 3 reasons. 1, I waited too late. I should have gotten my tickets the week of when it first came out, but I said, it costs $135. Nobody's gonna buy those tickets very soon. Ha! Those seats were gone the very first week. That's what I get. That's what I get for not getting those tickets when they first came out. You know what I'm saying? Second reason is I wasn't really all that into the show because Raw sucked going into Night of Champions, and I didn't really jump or feel the need to jump and get the tickets. Third reason is I didn't have a ride to get there, so I could have taken the bus, but allergies have been kicking my ass for the last few weeks or so. I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to get sick, get stranded, and had no one to pick me up. So I missed this one. I will do my best to catch the next one. I also missed the NXT live event on Thursday. I have been off my game. Now I missed that one because I had to work, but I will do a better job of catching the next NXT live event and the next live event for WWE. And yes, there will be a vlog. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the show. It was a good show overall. 3 things I want to complain about. I complained about this in my live review as well. WWE, I am sick and tired of all your shows looking the same. Can we please get your pay-per-views their own original sets? Not every pay-per-view needs to look like Raw, and I'm going to continue to hammer this in until something gets done. I am sick of every pay-per-view looking the same. Back in the day, Raw had its own set, SmackDown had its own set, and every other pay-per-view had their own set. Why does everything look the same? Can we get different sets for different shows? Fine, Raw and SmackDown look the same. They should look the same, but they look the same. Fine. Can we get Night of Champions its own set? SummerSlam, especially SummerSlam. Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania is the only pay-per-view so far that has its own set. Can we get something fresh for these pay-per-views, these special events, to make them feel special? And also, security needs to do their jobs more. We had a fan interfere during the Wyatt Family versus Reigns-Ambrose match with the mystery partner, which I'll get into in a second. I am getting sick of seeing these fans interfere with the show. Okay, guys, I know you have your opinions on the show. It is fine to have your opinions on the show. It's fine to buy a ticket, go there and boo and cheer whoever you like. But don't interfere with the show. You are not there to be the entertainment. Unless it's a bad show. Then yes, hijack it. But this was a good show. So, you know, respect it. Don't try to interfere. Don't do that. Don't enter the ring just to be cool. If you're not performing, if you're not a wrestler, don't get inside the ring. Don't jump the barricade. And security needs to be there to stop that. improve your security system. We've already had someone throw a briefcase at Roman Reigns, try to stab Ambrose, and just this past Monday, someone went walking down the ramp with Seth Rollins. I know the wrestlers are having fun with it, but don't let them jump the barricade. And I think the next time it happens, maybe a wrestler should kick their ass. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. Get better security. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get to the show itself. Pre-show was nice. We had Neville and Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara versus the Cosmic Wasteland, the Ascension and Stardust. Very fun match. Impressive, very impressive high-flying action from Neville and Lucha Dragons. Just a fun match. Great back and forth. Got the crowd hot. They were chanting for Neville, Lucha Dragons, Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. And even Cody chants for Stardust. So, good match. Really good, fun pre-show match. And I think it was Stardust. Stardust in the Ascension win with the Queen's Crossbow. Queen's Crossbow. It's the Crossroads, but he doesn't say Crossroads because he's not Cody Rhodes anymore. I think it's Queen's Crossbow. It used to be Dark Matter. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to go with a Queen's Crossbow. There you go. Then we get into the actual show. And the first match is Ryback versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, worked a technical style in this match. He worked on the arm, did all kinds of cool stuff with it. Very innovative. Kevin Owens has to be one of the most versatile wrestlers in wrestling today. Hands down. Because, you had a powerhouse wrestler with Kevin Owens, working against Kevin Owens and Ryback. And usually, if it's a smaller guy, like Sami Zayn, he's the powerhouse. Or Neville, he's the powerhouse. But since Ryback is a powerhouse, he decided to be Mr. Technical and work on a body part, which was really awesome. Or when he's against John Cena, he's Mr. High Flyer and jumping all over the place and doing high flying spots, and it's really, really cool to see that stuff. Love seeing that with Kevin Owens, and I'm so happy he won the IC Championship. Kevin Owens is your new Intercontinental Champion. I couldn't have picked a better person. Kevin Owens will be an awesome champion. I think he's going to have a lot of great matches with people like Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, you name it, Dolph Ziggler. If you want to throw Rusev in there, sure, maybe a Ryback rematch. Sami Zayn, save that until WrestleMania. But maybe Finn Balor can come up, Tyler Breeze. Bring people up, bring some people back to fight Kevin Owens. I think he is the perfect guy to be the IC champion. His very first WWE Championship, he won here. NXT is not, well, NXT is a WWE Championship technically, but not an official belt for WWE. The IC Championship is. I'm just happy he's the new champion, and I think he's going to be great as the IC champion. Ryback was okay. He just had bad opponents. But good match overall. I'll say it was solid. Taker versus Brock Lesnar will be happening. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar is happening at Hell in a Cell. It was announced on the show. So thankfully it's happening next month and not at WrestleMania 32. Let it happen. Get out the way and let's move on. Please, Taker and Sting needs to happen at WrestleMania 32. Then we did Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. Now, originally, this was supposed to be Lana and Ziggler versus Rusev and Summer Rae. But Lana got hurt, so this was just Ziggler versus Rusev. And if you've seen their other matches at SummerSlam, or, maybe Raw, or what other pay-per-view they ever fought, if you like those matches, you'll really like this one. This was a really good match. The story developing here is that, Summer Rae and Ziggler are sleeping, or supposedly sleeping behind Lana and Rusev's back. Ever since Summer Rae went into Ziggler's locker room, he's apparently been very sweet with her. He's bought her earrings. He's made mention that he could have feelings for her. You know what, man? At this point, if they want to turn Ziggler heel and make him a player, I'm done with Lana. Now I'm moving over to Summer Rae. Yeah! If they want to do that, man, I wouldn't be mad at that. You can turn Ziggler heel. I think he's a great heel. I think he would work. He would make that work. I wouldn't boo him. Because it's like, well, he's done with Lana, so he's going to Summer Rae now. I don't know if I'll like a reunion between Lana and Rusev now. I don't want to boo Lana. I want to cheer Lana, and I want to boo Rusev. I don't know if that'll work. We'll see what happens unless they turn Rusev face. Will that work? I don't know. But good match overall. We'll see where this storyline goes. At least it's developing. Maybe not in the way we like it, but it's developing. Dudley Boyz versus The New Day. The New Day continue to be the best part of WWE. Just a fun acts altogether. These three are just a joy to watch. Kofi Kingston's hilarious. Big E is just a big fat teddy bear that's making me laugh. And Xavier Woods with that trombone, awesome. It is so awesome. I love it. I love that trombone. Man, he's a really good player, by the way. Me as a music major would know that. But yeah, man. The match itself for the Tag Team Championships, good match. Just a fun, exciting match, man. Good back and forth overall. Dudley Boyz are still able to work very well. The ending comes. The Dudley Boyz win by DQ. They hit the 3D, and then Xavier Woods interferes, breaks up the pinfall, and cost the Dudley Boyz their championship win. But they still won the match. Afterwards, the whole save the tables bit didn't go anywhere because guess what? New Day gets a table to put them through it. And honestly, you know what? I was hoping the New Day would put them through it to get some heat on them. You know, the whole campaign of save the tables unless we're using it. I would have loved for them to put the Dudley Boyz through the table to really get some heat on them. But no, the Dudley Boyz end up 3D'ing Xavier Woods through a table. So, I'm fine with it. I just kind of wished it was the New Day. I'm just happy they're still Tag Team Champions. Alright, the Divas Championship. Nikki Bella versus Charlotte. It was a fine match. I'm not going to say it was bad. It was just weird. Like I said in my live review, it was weird seeing Nikki be so dominant and working on Charlotte's leg. Charlotte barely got any offense in this match. And I just looked at that and went, I don't believe it. Charlotte is usually, if she's not dominant, at least it's even back and forth. Here, Nikki was just absolutely dominant. She just beat the hell out of Charlotte throughout the majority of the match. Now, Charlotte got some offense, but it was like, what, 30% to Nikki's 70%? But despite all that, Charlotte beats Nikki. Charlotte is your new Divas Champion. I think, honestly, that was the right move to make. And I'm just happy she's champion. I am so happy Nikki dropped the damn belt. Really, I am happy that belt is off of her. I'm happy we can finally move on. I'm happy that we, as fans, can now hopefully enjoy a good reign with Charlotte, having good matches with people like Sasha Banks and Paige and Becky Lynch and whatever you throw in there. Naomi, Tamina, so on and so forth. You know, I'm just sick of Nikki holding that belt just to break AJ Lee's record. And that is why she held the belt. Guys, can we all just agree that the reason why Nikki held the belt is because they wanted to break AJ Lee's record? That's it. Okay? It has nothing to do, and sad that this is the case. Because I'm not saying Nikki deserves this. She doesn't deserve to be treated this way. But they didn't give her that belt because she's a great wrestler, or she's one of the best wrestlers of all time. No, they gave her the belt because she was in the right place at the right time when AJ Lee was leaving. And, you know, when AJ Lee, being married to CM Punk, when she left, they said, you can't have that reign anymore. So, Nikki, you gonna break it. What makes me mad is that they didn't even try to make it a legit reign. It's just as lame as AJ Lee's reign. Might be even more lame because it's longer than AJ Lee's reign. But at least Nikki can say, I'm the longest reigning Divas Champion for now. For now. So, yeah, you can't argue against it now. Nikki was just champion to break AJ Lee's record. That's what it is. Again, the match was fine. You know, let's just hope better things are to come for the Divas now. Now that they've gotten over their pettiness, it's done. The record's over. Let's just move on. AJ's gone. Nikki's championship reign is done. Let's move on to better things now. I'm talking Sasha and Charlotte. I'm talking Paige and Charlotte. I'm talking Charlotte and Becky Lynch. I'm talking Charlotte and Naomi. Let's get better matches out of this. We might get a rematch soon, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the Divas match. The Wyatt family versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and their mystery partner, drumroll please, Y2J Chris Jericho. And first off, it's always good seeing Chris Jericho wrestle. Chris Jericho is one of the best wrestlers to ever enter the square circle, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. It's great seeing him back. I popped for him. Houston popped for him. By the way, Houston was a great crowd tonight. I didn't mention that, but Houston was a great crowd, which helped the show overall. But despite his return, I kind of already knew as soon as I saw Chris Jericho, I knew then the Wyatt family was going to beat them. I just kind of knew right then and there. The Wyatt family was going to beat Reigns, Ambrose, and Chris Jericho. And it was an average match to begin with. It wasn't anything special. Maybe it's because I knew who was going to win. So, you know, Chris Jericho tagged himself in when Reigns was getting some offense and ends up costing them the match when Braun Strowman's big ass hurls Chris Jericho with his finisher and then makes him tap out to that submission move. So, Wyatt family wins, continues to look strong. They are really serious about Braun Strowman being a monster. But afterwards, we have Chris Jericho, you know, pretty angry, pretty sour about his loss. He ends up shoving both Ambrose and Reigns, which makes me think, does this mean we're going to do a program with Chris Jericho, Ambrose, and or Reigns? I would be behind that. I think Ambrose versus Chris Jericho would be an awesome feud. Same thing with Reigns versus Chris Jericho. A heel Chris Jericho, by the way. That would be great. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe that's just his way of going, alright, I'm not helping you guys anymore. But we'll see. Main events. Seth Rollins pulls a double duty when he has 2 championship matches back to back. We have the first one, the United States Championship, John Cena versus Seth Rollins. And if you've seen their SummerSlam match, if you've seen any of their other matches, I will happily tell you this was probably the best match they had with each other. This was a really good match. And again, John Cena continues to impress this year. This year alone, guys, I think John Cena has had some of his best work inside the ring. And this just goes up there with that list of great matches he's had this year with Kevin Owens, with Cesaro, with, you know, Stardust, with Rusev, with, you know, Rollins and Lesnar, with, you name it. Just a lot of good stuff with Cena this year. And this was another good match between them. This was better than their SummerSlam match. Absolutely better than their SummerSlam match. Not because it has a legit finish, but the action overall was very well done. I enjoyed it. I got into it. But, yeah, man, lots of cool stuff. Seth Rollins loses to John Cena, as I predicted, and you guys should not be shocked. I told you all during my preview that he was going to lose, because they only gave Rollins the belt because we were complaining, as we should have, that he looked weak. He looked like a weak world champion, so to give him some interest and to revitalize his reign, they had him beat John Cena and get the U.S. Championship belt, so they can say he is the very first U.S. champion and World Heavyweight Champion. That's the only reason they gave him the belt. They dropped it right back to Cena afterwards, so there you go. Not complaining about that. Still was a good match, and I knew that he wasn't going to hold that U.S. Championship belt for long. Should they have run with it? That could be debated, but honestly, I'm not complaining about it. Cena AA's Rollins after the match, because he's a dick. He's a dick. But then we get into Seth Rollins versus Sting for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it main event the show. Thank you. Thank you for having that match main event the show, because it rightfully should have. During the match, Sting goes through one of the announcer tables. I'm going to say it was the Spanish announcer table, because it usually is. Goes through the Spanish announcer's table, and he hits his head on the back of a monitor. And from that point, the match seemed kind of sluggish. It seemed like he was, you know, kind of stumbling through the match. I don't know. I think he hurt himself. Maybe it was an ankle injury, like it was in the Charlotte versus Nikki match, where Charlotte hurt her leg and Nikki had to work it. I don't know. Maybe she was hurt there, too. It was weird. That was a very weird match. Maybe Charlotte and Sting were both hurt and we had to have Nikki and Seth Rollins carry them through those matches. I can't talk right now. We had to have Nikki and Seth Rollins carry them through those matches. I don't know. Especially after Sting took 2 buckle bombs, power bombs into the turnbuckle. And I'm just, you know, especially after that second one where he hit it and then he just stumbled forward. Like he tried to walk and he just fell forward. Man, Sting is too old to be taking these bumps, man. I don't know if Sting should be taking those bumps, but it looked like he really did hurt himself. So if he was hurt working this match, just maybe that's why it was kind of sluggish. But despite that, man, it still came off like a good match. I enjoyed it. It was very well done. The only thing that was bad about it was the Scorpion Deathlock. His Scorpion Deathlock / sharpshooter didn't look good at all. I didn't see Raw. Someone told me in the live review that he actually did a legit sharpshooter Scorpion Deathlock on Raw, and it looked good. So maybe that's another indication that he was hurt in this match. I'm not too sure. But Rollins eventually rose up Sting and beats him. 1, 2, 3 inside the ring. Now, after the match, Sheamus comes out. He bro kicks Seth Rollins, and it looks like he's going to beat him. But then, Hellfire and Brimstone. Fire goes off, and here comes Kane. Yes, the Demon Kane, not the Big Red Machine Kane. I hate that stupid nickname, Demon Kane. Stupid! The Demon Kane returns, and he just wipes out Seth Rollins and chokeslams Sheamus before he can cash in. And then tombstones Seth Rollins. And then we end the show with Kane standing over Seth Rollins. That is the only part of the show I did not like. I didn't like seeing Kane stand over Seth Rollins, setting up a feud between him and Rollins going into Hell in a Cell. That match is going to suck. That match is going to be terrible. Who out there wants to see Kane versus Seth Rollins? Anybody? Huh? You? No? Nobody wants to see that match, but we're gonna get it anyways, cause screw us, that's why. I'm not looking forward to that match. I know it has to happen because of storyline reasons. They've been playing up to it since May and April and maybe even June when Rollins and Kane have been arguing, so this was coming. I don't want to see it. It's gonna be a bad match. It really is. Maybe he can pull a good match out of him, we'll see, but I'm not looking forward to that match. But that's how we end Night of Champions. Despite that, I get why they did it though. Send the crowd home happy. It's Kane, woo, he beat up the champion, the heel champion. So, I'm gonna give this show a B. I thought it was a really good show. Fun, productive. Whether they carry this into the upcoming Raws, which they won't, because, let's be real, Raw sucks. Raw during the fall season, or just Raw in general, it sucks now. They're not going to build into the shows. Their special events are kind of standalone now. They kind of just have them without any real build-up, and that's sad. They should. They should put effort into their Raw shows to make us care about the special events, but what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan. Yeah, guys, this is a good show. This is a show that if you haven't watched, I would at least check out at least once. Lots of good things about it. Nothing to complain about. Yeah, I'm kicking myself that I didn't go there live. But hopefully next time I'll be able to go live and give you an actual vlog. But yeah, guys, I apologize for the terrible, and I really mean terrible, live review. Here's just a recorded version of it, so hopefully you enjoy it. But with that said, give me your thoughts down below about the show. How did you feel about it? Did you think it was good? Tell me the stuff you didn't like. Tell me the stuff you liked. And all that jazz. What grade would you give Night of Champions? But with that said, this is your boy, Deluxe Man, signing off. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.